Hi everybody. Okay, today doing something a little bit different. We're gonna do stuff from the Word of God, like a little morning thing. So turn to Psalm 139, if you will. And I'm just gonna read it and then we're gonna talk about it. Psalm 139. You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. You hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me, your right hand will hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me, and the light become night around me, even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like the day, for darkness is as light to you. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book, before one of them came to be. How precious to me are your thoughts, God. How vast is the sum of them. Were I to count them, they would outnumber the grains of sand. When I awake, I am still with you. If only you, God, would slay the wicked away from me. You who are bloodthirsty, they speak of you with evil intent. Your adversaries misuse your name. Do I not hate those who hate you, Lord, and abhor those who are in rebellion against you? I have nothing but hatred for them. I count them my enemies. Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. So that was Psalm 139. Now we're going to talk about what it really means. Well, you have searched me, Lord, and you know me. So, if God lives in your heart, He searches for anything unclean, or He searches for things unclean so that He can point them out to you and correct you of them. He also searches for things that are clean and pure and righteous before Him so that He can say good job for them. So He knows you because He's doing that. And He knows when you sit down, when you rise. He knows. He knows when you're laying down in bed or when you get up in the morning. He knows it all. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You see my thoughts. You see all of my thoughts even if they're far away. You discern my going out and my lying down. Like what I just said, He can discern when you're going to the store or when you're going to a friend's house, or He can discern when you're just lying at home, doing something at home. You're familiar with all my ways. Like, if somebody's unfamiliar, they're like, what are you doing? Or why are you doing that? He's really familiar. He was like, oh, this is what you're doing that. Even before you tell Him what you're doing, He's already like ahead of time. He's like, at 12 o'clock, she's going to do this. And it's only 9:30 in the morning. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. So before you say, hey, that's mine, he knows that you're going to say that, and he knows if it's true or not. You hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. I think that means like he protects you, keeps you safe. I'm still learning what the scriptures mean because I'm only 10 years old. I'm really searching God out, so sometimes I have to look before I understand what they mean. I have to look a little bit more. And the reason why I'm wearing a crown is because I'm God's princess, and sometimes it's good to remind yourself that you're God's princess by like maybe wearing a tiara or just once in a while saying to just yourself, I'm God's princess, and things like that. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, it is too lofty for me to attain. So, his knowledge, like here on earth, if somebody knows something and they learned it, well, you can most likely learn it too and know what it is too, like understand what they understand. But this is saying that like God's knowledge is so big that you can never study enough, you can never learn enough to be as wise and knowledgeable as him. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? Like, where can I go that I can possibly hide from you and you don't know where I am? Like Adam and Eve in the garden, they were hiding behind bushes. I personally probably would not have guessed that. But God, where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? So, like he saw Adam and Eve in the garden, he sees us today. He also sees all the choices we make, all the thoughts we think, all the things we say. If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there too. So, like, wherever we are, he's there too. We can never run away from him, and he's not there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. So even if I'm in a place where like my mom, dad, friend, preacher, minister, pastor, anybody can't lead me, God's hand will lead me. He will lead me. And it'll hold on to me. He won't let go. Your right hand will hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me, and the light come night around me, even the darkness will not be dark to you. The light will shine like the day, for darkness is as light to you. So nothing is dark for him, because as soon as he walks into a room or he is there and it's dark, just his lightness flows through the room so that it's light again so that he can see. Like there's this thing that a person said on a YouTube video, and it was, darkness cannot penetrate light, but light can penetrate darkness. So that's what God is kind of talking about here. God is penetrating the darkness, so it's light. It's light because he penetrated the darkness, so the darkness is gone. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. So sometimes people think I'm a mistake, I don't matter, well, knitting is very purposeful. You have to look for the pattern, how you're knitting it. So what God is really saying is that you are not a mistake. You are I made you very much on purpose. You matter. You're amazing. I knit you together. You're very priceless. Things like that. So if you ever think you're worthless or a mistake again, look in Psalm 139 at verse 13 and 14. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. So we are his works. And what he makes and what he does is wonderful. Because he is wonderful. Because what goes into creator will go into what the creator created. I know that full well. You know. Like we know that his works are wonderful. I know for sure, and I'm sure you do too, because he is wonderful. So everything that he does will be wonderful too. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret places. Frame, face, body, it wasn't hidden from him when he was making us in our mother's wombs. When I was woven together in the depths of the earth, your eyes saw my unformed body. When he was weaving us, and our bodies weren't formed in our mother's wombs yet, he still could make out a figure. Like, you see someone, and then later on in life, you imagine them, and you know their figure. Well, that's like it is with God. God sees us. Except God doesn't even see a figure. He just sees the person. So, sees us. Our frame was not hidden from him. That's really amazing, I think, because I can't even imagine seeing somebody who is invisible at the time. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. So, like he wrote on May 15th, this is going to be my birthday. On this day, they're going to be baptized. He wrote it all down. Like, have you had a schedule on your calendar? Well, that's what it's like for him, except he has a huge book where he can fit every single person's day in there. So that's how he knows when we're going to die, because he already ordained it before we were way down the road from dying. How precious to me are your thoughts, God. So, like, everything that God thinks is mostly in his word, because he uses the prophets to tell his words and his thoughts, but really it's him speaking. So his thoughts are really precious to me. I love his thoughts. I love hearing from him. How vast is the sum of them? I'm guessing how amazing is the sum of them. Were I to count them, they would outnumber the grains of sand. So have you ever picked up not a handful of sand, but the grain that is all around the beach? That is so much, you get bored to tears counting. That's how many thoughts he has, and even more. They would outnumber the grains of the sand. Except his thoughts won't bore you to tears. But just counting the sand grains would. Sand grain, yeah. When I awake, I am still with you. So when I wake up, he's still right there. His Bible is still there, and he is still there in your presence when you wake up. If only you, God, would slay the wicked. David's talking about here, he hates wicked people, and that is a righteous hatred, to hate wickedness and hate all who do it. Away from me, you who are bloodthirsty, those who kill. Get away from me, you people who kill and are murderers and are destroyers. Get away from me. They speak of you with evil intent. They speak of you in a mocking way. They speak of God in a mocking voice, or is God really real, or things like that. That's what that verse means. Your adversaries misuse your name, like when people say bad words, and especially the one that says his name at the end of it. That's what that is talking about. That's really bad. And all his adversaries or people that don't know him say that. And even people who are fake Christians, maybe. Yeah. Do I not hate those who hate you, Lord? But go back to that verse of misuse your name. But people could be turning into Christians and trying to break that pattern. So if you hear someone say that word, doesn't mean they don't love the Lord. It might mean they had a pattern before and they're trying to break it, but it's really hard once you make a pattern. But they don't have to be bad if they say just that bad word. They could be really trying. So, do I not hate those who hate you, Lord? If somebody says, I hate God, I hate you, Lord, it is righteous, very righteous, to hate them. Because you love the Lord so much that you hate anyone who hates him. And abhor those who are in rebellion against you. I'm sorry, I don't know what abhor means. But I'm guessing rage, hate, despise those who are in rebellion against you. I have nothing but hatred for them. All you have inside towards them is no, pity party for them because they had maybe a hard life. Just pure hatred for them because they hate the one you love. Somebody hated your parents, wouldn't you hate them? Because you love you love your parents so much. That's how I feel. I count them my enemies. Anybody who hates the Lord, they're your arch enemy. You fight. You go and fight against them. They're your enemies. Search me, God, and know my heart. Now they're talking about them. Now David's talking about himself. Search me. Know my heart. Look for anything you don't like inside of me. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. Know if I'm stressed out about anything, or if I'm homeschooled. I'm so glad. But if any of you people, if any kids are watching this and you go to school, God knows if you're anxious, maybe a test or being bullied. Well, God's always there for you, and even if you're anxious about it. See if there's any offensive way in me. Any mean words that you could say to somebody or to even God himself, and take it out of me, and lead me in the way everlasting. Lead me. It's as simple as lead me in the way everlasting. So that was Psalm 139, and I really have just treasured that chapter. My mom gave that to me when I was really, really young. And I have just stored it up in my heart. I love it so much. And I treasure everything my mom gives me, especially the Word of God. And it used to be that way. I used to just get casual with it, which I'm telling you, it's really dangerous to do that. You have to be like, you have to realize that you're an ant and God is a human. Imagine how big we are compared to an ant. Well, we are ants and God is the human. So, we just need to imagine that. And don't take them casual because it's dangerous. Act like the ant that you are. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it comforted your spirit. And love you guys. Hope you're blessed. God bless you. Bye-bye.